What is up, YouTube fragrance family and friends? Tommy with Studio Sense here. There's been a considerable amount of effort and attention and time and money has been sunk into figuring out exactly how the female brain works. There's even a book called The Female Brain, if you want to check that out. I have it. I haven't read it. And there's just a lot of things guys don't really know about women. And yet, women aren't these supremely mysterious creatures. A lot of times we just don't pick up on clues that are left behind or really right in front of our faces. One of the things that we're going to talk about today is fragrance and how to attract a woman with your fragrance. Because one thing, the one common mistake most guys make is they wear a fragrance that they like, expecting for the woman, their prospectus, to like immediately. And that's just not the case. I mean, women have different tastes than men. Those things are not always super obvious, and that's why I chose these particular 7 fragrances that are going to help you capture her attention, capture her imagination, pull her into your orbit so that you can get to know, this person in front of you that you're interested in, potentially interested in. So when we come back, we're going to take a look at those 7 fragrances, talk about them in detail. That and more is coming up, so stay tuned. Welcome back, everyone. If you are a first-time viewer, welcome to my channel. Hope you find something here that you like and that makes you come back. And for those of you, the majority of you that are returning viewers, thanks so much for your support. I hope you enjoyed today's video because today I'm talking about the feminine attention. It's that thing that we always look for, whether we admit it or not. We really want it. Even if you're in a committed relationship, isn't it nice when you walk by someone and they turn and they're like, "Wow, you smell really good." It adds an extra pep to your step, a little bit of oomph to your day, and makes you feel good. Gives you a little bit of positivity to go on. So even if you're not looking for someone to date, you can benefit by the information in today's video. So I've curated 7 fragrances that we're going to take a look at specifically that I know women like. How do I know this? Because I've gotten compliments from all kinds of women with these particular fragrances, and not just my wife and not just family members. So let's go ahead and dive right into our relatively short list. The very first fragrance that we're going to take a look at is from a pretty impressive house that releases designer fragrances that are very accessible. This particular fragrance has been dubbed the new La Nuit de l'Homme. It is Tresarti Reflesso. Reflesso is such a well-balanced, light fragrance, and I just want to stop for a second and explain a couple of commonalities that all of these fragrances share. First of all, none of these fragrances are quote-unquote bangers. Why don't you want to wear a banger or a loud or a strong projecting fragrance when you're dating a woman, or when you're meeting someone that you're interested in for coffee, or when you're around other women that you want to get attention from? Well, sure, you want them to be able to smell your fragrance. That's how heads turn, and that's how you pull compliments, right? But you don't necessarily want something loud. Think about it. If she can smell your fragrance from 5 feet away, she doesn't need to come closer to smell more, right? Women love a mystery. They love unwrapping a mystery. And one of the things about fragrance that you want to keep in mind when you're wearing a fragrance to attract a woman is you want it to be a bit mysterious. You don't want it to give up all its notes all at once, and you don't want it to project like a visible 3-foot bubble. You want it to be something that they can just smell on the periphery and that makes them come closer. And that's what I mean by magnetism. All these fragrances are very magnetic. This has such a great lavender note that mixes with violet, so it reduces the strength of the lavender a bit, and it creates a really nice duo. And then you've got tonka bean and leather. There's a good bit of tonka bean, and in each one of these fragrances, there's a good bit of sweetness. Women love sweet things, right? That's very inviting. It's very sexy, not super sweet. Tresarti Reflesso is a soft, mellow, yet sexy, muted, come hither fragrance. It definitely works great in the dating arena. Next up is a seductive scent from the design house Lolita Lympica. It is Green Lover. When you hear the name Green Lover, you think automatically, okay, this is just a green, vegetal, or herbaceous fragrance. It is not that. It is the furthest thing from the truth. This is actually a creamsicle, gourmand, very sensual skin scent kind of fragrance. I mean, something that's got a very soft skin, that whole pull someone in idea, that magnetism, that draw, that is just something that you can just barely smell that you want more of. It's kind of like sweet, velvety orange sherbet. There's Szechuan pepper, a bit of peppermint, a good bit of bourbon vanilla, a little bit of orange and orange blossom, some astringent juniper berry to balance it out, and a good bit of musk to add weight. Of course, all these are going to have a good bit of weight and density to them because musk is sexy, let's face it. And Green Lover, like gourmand fragrance that it is a very solid, seductive scent. Now our next sexy scent that's going to go a long way towards attracting and captivating and capturing the imagination and attention of your female companion is from the house of Mercedes-Benz. It was actually designed to be a date night fragrance. It is Mercedes-Benz Select Night. This fragrance is a dark horse fragrance. In other words, not a lot of people talk about it, not a lot of people consider it, but it is one of those epic, sensual, sultry, seductive scents. The reason that it is that is because it's cardamom, lavender, orange blossom, vanilla sitting on top of some high quality woods. This fragrance will create about 1.5 feet wherever you have it, and if she gets just a bit of a whiff of that, she will definitely want more. This is one of those fragrances that has that incredible magnetic draw, very similarly to the way that violet and iris work together, or violet and lavender. That trifecta of a base of patchouli, sandalwood, and vanilla absolutely nails the date night scent, and not only will she enjoy it, but you'll enjoy wearing Mercedes-Benz Select Night as well. Now this next fragrance, a lot of people don't really consider it a date night or sexy fragrance, but I'm here to tell you, whether you believe it is or not, the attention that women just don't give everyone is garnered by this fragrance. I've definitely got some attention, some feminine attention, and it's always been positive. And so I submit that Garlands Lone Ideal Eau de Parfum is a sexy, seductive, magnetic fragrance that will capture her attention. It's one of those, again, that's got a very soft, muted, skin-like accord, and it also carries a good bit of almond, which is reminiscent to the way that the cardamom works in La Nuit de l'Homme. Now, La Nuit de l'Homme by Yves Saint Laurent has been long looked at as a great date night fragrance, although it's kind of an old school fragrance by this point. This is kind of the new era of the way cardamom and almond kind of capture that sexy magnetism. That milky, nutty almond combined with the orange and then the vanilla that's made slightly resinous by its leather wrap, all encompassed in a darker, richer frankincense. Definitely try it out, you'll get good results. Garlands Lone Ideal Eau de Parfum. Now this next fragrance, if you're familiar with it, will not come as a surprise to you because both men and women absolutely gravitate towards it. So I've been out on the market for a super long time. It has had great success. It's from Abercrombie & Fitch. It is Authentic Night for Men. Now there's a version of this for women, but the masculine version just has that sexy date night signature that is super solid. You've got apple, rhubarb, vanilla, leather, ambroxan. I think there's also a bit of tonka bean in here. This is quite a bit of sweet in here, but it doesn't actually overdo it. It adds some extra push to the other elements in the fragrance, and I find it an extremely well balanced, sexy, magnetic scent. Similar to Mercedes-Benz Select Night, this one has a nighttime, darker kind of, it's almost like you're in the confines of an intimate setting where you can share secret thoughts, you know, with the person in front of you, and it creates that nimbus around the person that you're with as well, that sillage. She will enjoy it as much as you do. Again, Abercrombie & Fitch Authentic Night. Our next fragrance is one of those that does an excellent job of creating that intimate setting, creating just enough of a scent trail for the person who smells it to want more, to lean in. You know, you want to get that lean in, like the movie Hitch. You know, you don't want to be the 70 to their 30, so you want them attracted to you. This fragrance is by Sean John. It is 3 a.m. Now, there's a reason, if you've ever been by a fragrance forum and people are sharing their fragrance collection, there's a reason why every one of those photos will show a clear bottle with a red band around the atomizer. That's Sean John's 3 a.m. Super inexpensive fragrance too. This has that sensual skin accord. It's almost like a sun-kissed skin. Kind of got two faces. It's bright on one side, bright and citric on one side, and on the other side it's smooth, soft, subdued, and mellow, and yet just forceful enough to be able to capture the attention of the person you're with. There's quite a bit of orange in this. You've also got fig, which is a softer note. You've got some tonic water, so it is a bit of aquatic in its heart. But to counterbalance that lightness, there's a smooth, lightly textured suede and that sensual skin accord that I was talking about. It also comes in a fantastic atomizer. There are fewer atomizers that are See how that lasts for a while? It's kind of like metered. It's an amazing scent. Oh, it smells so good, so good. There's something about the fig. There's something about Mary. There really is something sensual about the way that they use fig in Sean John 3 AM that she will absolutely love. If you don't believe me, definitely give it a try. Now, our last fragrance was released as part of 4 fragrances that are all of them had their own seductive properties by Roberto Cavalli. This one is Uomo Silver Essence. Silver Essence is an amazing fragrance. I don't know anyone that doesn't like this scent, but on men, it has that masculine attraction. Uomo Silver Essence, unlike the rest of these in this list, this one is almost like full-on alpha. It basically has that masculinity that is extremely attractive to women. It's not the toxic masculinity. This is the new masculinity. A guy that's not only sure of himself, but there's just enough doubt for him to be able to make changes if he needs to, right? If it's being a jerk or whatever. And that's super attractive to women. This is a highly underrated fragrance, and it holds a supreme appeal within the confines of masculine, seductive, silvery, elusive. You've got cardamom, ginger, violet leaf in the top. You've got iris, lavender, and geranium. See, so you've got violet and iris, that perfect duo together. You've also got vetiver, oak moss, patchouli, and tonka bean, which is where the sweetness comes from. This one has great projection without being super loud, and it also has excellent performance as well, which we're all looking for in a fragrance. So not only, again, just like the rest, you'll be able to enjoy this, but primarily she's going to catch wind of it and again lean in closer 70-30. I didn't want to go over each one of these fragrances super long, but I wanted you to get to know them just enough to know that you can use these in your arsenal, in your date night arsenal or your date night rotation, and they will definitely yield good results if you use them appropriately. In other words, don't overspray, don't underspray. Just be moderate with their use, and I guarantee you'll get the results you're looking for. If you enjoy these fragrances already, let me know what your experience with these are like. And also, if you feel like there are other fragrances that are really great date night scents, let me know what those are as well in the comments. Thanks for stopping by, and as always, thank you so much for your support on my channel. I'm Tommy with Studio Sense, and I'll see you tomorrow.